though we are far removed from the release of the Captain Marvel movie, somehow it seems throughout my conversations that I have on social media, we always revisit it, don't we? So, if you watched my last video, you know that we had been talking about some individuals getting a little upset at the idea of me suggesting that I don't condone little boys being put into dresses. That is apparently a controversial position. Now, after woodwork came a lot of these weirdos. Now, this weirdo, if I can go over here, says, now you know I can bring up countless tweets about feminism, even on your YouTube channel. And I asked for these tweets to, because this all came from me saying, quote me on anything that I ever said was sexist, because she claimed that I was sexist. And she says that even on your YouTube channel, you trashed every movie with a strong female lead. That's impressive that I've somehow been able to trash. That's a lot of material. So she thinks very highly of me, apparently, because she thinks that I have enough time in the day to try to go through every single movie with female leads and trash all of them. I appreciate the, where you're going with that, because, you speak highly of my efforts and my ability, but I haven't done that, contrary to your beliefs. She said, y'all hate and reject feminism, the advancement of women, because y'all want to continue to keep women suppressed and at the bottom. Now, I do want to throw out there that this isn't the most, let's say, rational of people, because she thinks that it's not a reach. If I can find this. Yeah, she thinks it's not a reach because somebody dares to say, this all stemmed from me, saying that, hey, I don't think little boys should be put in the dresses. I don't condone that. And she jumped from that to this that I'm not going to read out loud, suggesting that, like, this is extra. I'm not reading that out loud. I'm just not going to do it. I'm sorry. But anyway, let's just go back to that point, right? That somehow I have a problem with strong female leads, right? And I'm sexist. Now, I've had nothing but positive things to say about the recent Wonder Woman film. I did a video talking about Mira, who, though she's not the lead, she is a lead in the recent Aquaman movie. And I talked about her being depicted in her being depicted in a positive manner. As far as I liked it. I've never said anything negative about Alita. There's just a long list of movies, obviously, I've never said anything negative about that have quote unquote strong female leads. But this all stems from this moronic idea that somebody just can't have a position that deviates from them. And they operate on this idea that if you're in opposition to this, because this and this being Captain Marvel represents quote unquote strong female leads, if you oppose it, then you oppose strong female leads. It sounds completely nonsensical, right? When I break it down like that, you mean to tell me that just because I don't like maybe the route that Marvel went with this Captain Marvel movie, I have an issue with just female leads, and it's completely nonsensical. But that's what sort of the Captain Marvel counter, or more so the people that like stand over that movie, that's sort of what they brought to the table, was these sort of nonsensical default points. Instead of actually arguing your positions, they go and say lousy things like you have an issue with women, you hate women, and so forth. No matter how verifiably false, you could just in the same breath praise another movie with a female lead. But for some reason, if you just dared to criticize Captain Marvel, you hate women. Now, I think that's really insulting to quote unquote female leads because you're not judging them unfairly. Excuse me, you are judging them unfairly, and you're not judging them in the same manner that you would judge men. I criticize male-led movies. Nobody has ever suggested that I hate men. So why is it that when I criticize Captain Marvel for whatever reason, I now have a problem with strong female leads? It's kind of unfair, and it's really insulting because you're not holding them to the same standard. I look at it no matter what. Like, look, some of my favorite characters are women. Wonder Woman, Storm, obviously, I've talked about a lot. Catwoman, Misty. I love a lot of these characters that are female characters. I've been going to bat for. I've been probably the most prominent YouTuber in terms of going to bat for how they did Monica Rambeau in the Captain Marvel movie. So I think it's weird how somebody would ever suggest that I despise strong female leads or I hate strong female leads, but that's the nonsense that these guys have to put together in order to make sense out of it because they can't just argue your position. I just think it's kind of weird that some of these guys they have the same social, approaches. And I do think that it's a little bit unfair sometimes to sit here and think that, well, if that's your social preference, then that is your social preference. Like, okay, you have this social preference, therefore you have this political alignment, this social alignment, and so forth. But I just think it's so weird and worth noting at the very least that a conversation that started about little boys really in dresses somehow went to me having a problem with women and femininity, which is what that was in some of the tweets that I didn't show you guys. It's like weird, man. Like, y'all know, for guys that watch my stream, you see her pop up all the time, and my woman, and how much I love her to death, and how feminine she is, and how much I'm attracted to that. But somehow I said that the whole thing about the dresses, and that ended up turning into you despise. I don't know what those even have to do with anything. What does it have to do with each other? But they do, apparently. Come on, man. Y'all out of control, dog. Like, something's wrong with y'all, man. Y'all weird. How a lot of people go to bat for this movie. And it's really with Captain Marvel. I've criticized other things and other even forms of media, like in the comics, and I haven't really been accused of just at least not to the degree. I've been accused of some crazy things, but not to the degree of Captain Marvel. It's like that's the sacred cow of internet activists. You can't, and I talked about this. I have done a video on how she's like the most protected superhero ever, certainly by mainstream media and access media, and how they just can't dare to see anybody public say anything negative about this movie. And I just thought it was weird, but it clearly worked because you have weirdos in my mentions on Twitter suggesting that I hate female leads or I have a problem with female leads, and really the only movie that I've criticized. And let's go to it. I mean, I'm pretty sure I don't have everything. Let's see, what's the way to do it? I would like to go to my playlist real quick. Now, I'm pretty sure I have a playlist movies and films. And yeah, Captain Marvel is real. I don't have a bunch of just flat out reviews, but Captain Marvel centered around this goofy character. That's really the only those are reactions, right? The reviews, that's the only one that I have. Like, I don't have any other reviews that are centered around like this. Oh, I talk about Supergirl, but Supergirl's not a movie. So the only movie that she can point to that has a female lead that I even criticize like that in like videos would be Captain Marvel. So that's just kind of weird. I don't know, man. Can y'all please go view this video? It has 666,000. Let's get that off of there. Can we change this, please? Thank you. But yeah, man, what in the world is wrong with y'all? I can criticize Captain Marvel without hating female leads. Good grief.